everybody. This is James from Praagh and Life After Death and Beyond. And thank you for joining me, my good friend Kellee White. Thanks, Kellee.
Hi, James. Hi, everybody.
And first of all, before we start, I want to thank everybody for their responses to our friend Peter Redgrove, who talked about living while you're dying. It's affected so many people. And Kellee, you have a story for one of your clients, if you can say that, if you let them know or no, generally speaking, or no, you're not allowed to.
I had, actually, I have two clients that are passing away, two. Wow. And they both, during this particular time period that we're in, within the next week or 2 weeks or so, and they both thanked me so much for Peter speaking to them. I mean, it was like he was speaking to them because they are living the dying as Peter is. And it was so emotional for me with Peter and so emotional with my clients. And, you know, I care so deeply about people, but I understand that Peter did such a service.
He did an Alex Ferrari validation. I'm on a Mac Airbook, as you know, it's brand new to me, and I don't know how to turn off the notifications. And he just said, we'll have Peter on. I'll email him tomorrow. He wants to put him on as well. Alex Ferrari does Next Level Soul, which is a great podcast. Everyone should check Alex out. It's around the world. And it's affected a lot of people and a lot of great reactions. And, you know, living with someone who's dying is an incredible experience. And I certainly don't want to miss out on it because every moment is precious. And we're just sitting in the garden and wondering and just talking about the wind and the beautiful greenery and the sunset and enjoying those moments. So it's really important. So thank you, everybody, for your comments. And tonight's show, Kellee has been working on this. Was it just today or was it the weekend?
Oh, no. I've been working on this for probably a year, but probably since 2020.
Yeah, first of all, Kellee, everybody's talking also how great that you and I have such a rapport. And we just do because we're good friends and we just,
oh my gosh,
we love each other and we just honor each other and our work, you know, we learn from each other. And I had a reading with Carrie, the ancestry.
With Carrie Gonia.
Carrie Gonia. She's very good, everybody. So check her out. She's really good if you want to know about your ancestral history.
Well, it's true.
Bring a box of tissues, by the way.
Right. Well, you know, James, one of the things that Carrie's work does is it helps us to understand what's important and what's not important.
You know what I found that also, Kellee, as I'm going to talk about tonight, and my part of this is assessment. I can see where I was in assessment as far as my soul, and when I came in here, what I came in for, and where was I at? Was I lacking? Was I helping my ancestral part of it? That for me was fascinating.
Yeah. Wow, isn't that amazing?
Fascinating. What was my part of it? So that was really fascinating. But tonight we're going to talk about predictions. So we have predictions for the coming.
We do. We have predictions. I mean, this is a period of time, isn't it?
Kellee, I'm going to let you start.
I'll start.
I'll start channeling and bringing things in that way. I have some things, but I said, Spirit, just let me go with what Kellee's starting with and let me go on to that.
Well, so we are in that's perfect way to do it. And it's perfect, James. And I'll stop anytime you start. My gosh, because we are in uncharted waters, right? 100%. I mean, really uncharted waters here. 100%. And I will say that this year is bigger than last year.
100%.
So this is a big time. Now, I'm going to give some astrological.
It's a new time we've never experienced before. I keep again, it's a new time, everybody. There are new rules. There are new ways to think. There are new ways to do things. So remember that as Kellee explains astrologically.
It's actually what I wrote, James. It's really funny. Is we entered a new era, right? It's exactly right. And I'm going to give a little astrological framework for this year, and then this year brings up a lot of stress. So a lot of stressful times.
No, really?
Really? Who knew? But remember, everybody, we do have free will. So, you know, we can say certain things, but there is free will. May not feel like it, but we have it. All of this started, this started a while back, but this new era that we entered really was with, we had that eclipse, a major eclipse on March 29th, and we had 7 planets in Pisces.
Kellee, let me stop you. That was the beginning of the moon eclipses, was that right?
The solar eclipse was March 29th.
When were the moon eclipses?
The lunar eclipse was March 14th. So they come in pairs. But this second eclipse, this March 29th eclipse, was 7 planets lined up in Pisces, set the tone for the next, couple of years at least.
And did it to you, Kelly? I don't know about everybody else, but for me, I don't know if you felt this way. Things are like all over the place. Like I'm floating in the sea of like there's a rock over here and there's some over here, and like, wow, where am I? Does that
That's exactly right. And I've been talking to everybody about the energy. The energy
Oof.
is intense. And
It's
so people are
bizarre.
going to be tired. They're going to be exhausted. They have fatigue. They might have nausea. They might have headaches. Aside from the fact that, everybody's worried about what the future looks like. Because
I've
again,
had
we're a
all
new
that.
era. You've had all of that. Yeah. In fact,
And we're impasse. A lot of us sensitive, so would feel
oh,
things more.
and let's talk about our animals too, feeling things, because the animals may be acting up during this time.
That's very true.
Just
Mine's
aware.
been okay, but I'm codependent, so I'm probably into her with me. We're part of the same right now. We
I love
really are.
that.
People like you two are. My sister from Spirit came back and she said, "You two have such a relationship." We're from the spirit world. I was like,
Good job, observation, Lynn.
"Thank you."
That's very funny.
It is a C word. It's a feeling of being out there, a
Yes.
feeling of being in the unknown. Is
Yes.
natural right now, correct? It's like a
Yes.
natural feeling of being in the unknown. I'm not sure of what's going on, and we're used to that way of paradigm, of that way of thinking and being. Is I'm pretty sure what I can do. The world isn't like that anymore, right?
Correct.
It
Yeah,
feels like that.
into the new era. And in fact, James, right before this eclipse on March 28th, there was that big earthquake in Thailand, in Myanmar,
Was
like
it 9.0?
7.7 or something. It was
They were
huge.
aftershocks, yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable. And that kind of started where we're about ready to go into. But also on April 4th, we had something really unusual too. We had Saturn, Mars, and Uranus all at 0 degrees. Now that's just doesn't happen. So that happened. And of course, during that period, what happened? The tariffs. The tariffs came out. So now are in a tariff situation.
They won't last, by the way. That's my prediction. They will not last. I got that very strongly. They will not last. Just got it. Yeah.
Good,
Last.
good, James.
It's a temporary thing. That's what I heard. And the stock market will balance out. So continue, Kelly. Sorry to
Well,
interrupt.
no, I'm glad that you're getting that.
Mhm.
I'm glad that you're getting that.
Strongly, I got that.
Yeah. I think there'll be so much fallout from everything.
Yeah.
But interesting. Now, here's another indication of things. Saturn went on March 29th, went into Pisces for 2.5 years. I'm talking Vedic astrology, everybody. So Saturn goes into Pisces for 2.5 years. What does this mean? Saturn is karma, and Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter brings dharma. So karma and dharma, what does that mean? It means for the next 2.5 years, when people say, what is my life purpose? People are going to question their lives, and they're going to want to have careers that have to do with spiritual meaning. That's what this time period's about.
Same prediction. So I got that this time right now we're entering into is an assessment time. And it's very interesting you talked about stress because as they gave me that, and then we were talking about stress, I got a real strong message to share with everybody. Stress is our friend. It forces us to stop and take assessment.
Oh, wow. It sure does, doesn't it?
It forces us to stop and take assessment. And I just did that today. So I'm stopping and doing things and waiting and assessing my life at this age. And it's important that we all do that. But, it's also a time where new things happen, new things change every single day. Relationships will change, jobs will change, housing will change. Kind of be open for the changes and don't be so locked into them because it'll change quickly. You don't want to be locked in. That's our secret for tonight. Don't be locked in because I predict there'll be more changes than you can even bat an eye at. You're going to be like, whoa. So be open for the changes. It's almost like I'm watching the Wizard of Oz movie with that, the house is whirling around.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm going to watch it like I'm watching on television. I'm going to observe it. There are so many changes happening left and right economically in your life, your house, where you live.
Relationships.
Family, what family even means.
Careers.
It's going to be so different that all you have is you, right? So all you're doing is a force. And Kelly, when I got really strong with Spirit saying, as you've said it before, this is a time to go into you. It's that Pisces, it's you. You are the master and the control of your world. No one out there can do it for you. What you see is the illusion that you're living in, but you have the force. You have the ability to see how you're going to experience it or how you're not going to experience it. And don't live from the past and for your families or ancestries. Live right now, because you came in to make this change. You came in as a unique, incredible being at this moment. As you said, Kelly, many times, we've chosen this particular time to go through this change. And it's with all of us that we make this change. We got to do it together, but we got to come as one force, which is going within and mastering yourself, your soul self. It's a time for your soul self to grow, to expand, to experience new things from a different perspective.
So as you're saying that, this is what I'm hearing. You are such a master, James. I mean, really, to have you on the planet at this time, talking exactly the way you're talking about is extraordinary, because you also at this exact time are offering something that people should really pay attention to.
That's right.
And this is your master class here, because this period of time means to go in spiritually and figure out your life.
Yeah,
so let's hear about your master class.
It's a master life coaching course, a healing certification course. It's a master life coaching healing course, basically. And what I did was I did a couple of months ago, I sat down with people who work with my school. I said, listen, we're coming some tough times. And I think we need to put the healing course, the mastering life coach course, and we need to put other things into it that would really help people. So 28 Days of Transformation is really an incredible course. I channeled that, as you know. It's 15 minutes a day to sit and to really
extraordinary.
It's extraordinary. People have loved that. And it's a meditation. We also put in a meditation for people to get clarification of self. And there's also different techniques, 70 different videos. So it's for people who've maybe some have taken the course, but we added on a lot of stuff. But now is the time to take the course. You're right. It's a perfect time.
Timing is excellent for this. Excellent. If you are going to figure out in your life, what do you want to add to your life? How do you want your life to change? This course begins that process.
Yeah, it's a certification life course, master coach course. And Friday night, I'm doing a free webinar where I'm actually doing readings for people. And I did this last week, and it was great. I analyze and assess through auric reading what's going on in their life, what they're holding on to, what they're not holding on to, what's important to them. And I went to like a light trance, and like Mark Ireland's father kind of came through. And it's
my gosh.
Can you hear the cadence of my voice? Like, oh.
Totally.
So it's on the JVP School of Mystical Arts. And I think, Renee, you have the address for that. So it's in the school page, and you really should take a look at that. It's
it would be perfect. Oh my gosh. Wow.
The JVP School of Mystical Arts.com.
Wow. So let's talk a little bit. Is Renee going to put that up? Oh, you got it. Perfect. Thanks, Renee. Okay.
Thanks, Renee. Wow. It's a good one, everybody, just so you know.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
This Friday, look at my website or look at the time. I'll tell you, Tricia. I think it's going to be 4:00 my time. It's so funny because I did. Yeah, there you go. I just did these readings the other day, and it was like phenomenal. Do you see? It's almost like spirit is around even clearer than before, Kelly. I know there's.
Yeah.
Have you had that experience too?
I have had that experience. Yeah.
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 It's an important time for all of us to stop and get inside ourselves, to assess ourselves. Grieving is a time for growth. I'm also doing the grieving. It's a grieving course I'm doing as well. It's a time for growth. There are opportunities and everything, even in these tough times.
Oh, yes. This is the time to grow. This is the time to grow.
You know, when I was a little boy, I used to walk around the garden, and I had a fascination with rocks. And I had actually created a club. I created a club. And it sounds weird.
A rock club.
Double earth sign. I created a rock club, and I created an insect club because I was fascinated with those two living forms. And under the rocks, I would imagine what lives under here, whose home is in here, and what gems are you going to find? So people would think a rock, it holds things down, it's violent. No, when you open up the rock, you find some incredible treasures. So I think that analogy for us
Yeah.
is really amazing. Things might be tough on the outside, and as we look at our perspective, I think it might be really tough. But within, man, it's
Right.
jewels, light. It's incredible love. We'll find aspects of love to ourselves we've never experienced before. Because if you ask it, you'll receive it. And when you go in and ask to go in that divine part of yourself, you'll see aspects of that divine self you've never seen before. Because the times are different. The time is right now.
Wow.
Right?
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, on with the show.
Yeah, Kelly.
I'll go with this. So I want to talk. There's a fabulous, famous Vedic astrologer. His name is James Kelleher, and he's has said some amazing, extraordinary things. And one of the things that he talks about is the period of Rahu. And Rahu means that we're in right now. We're in the period of Rahu. The United States is in the period of Rahu from 2015 to 2033. Trump is in, his chart is in the period of Rahu. Russia is in the period of Rahu. These are some big, big things. So Rahu means chaos. It means rebellious. It
That's
means
so funny.
outrageous. It means breaking the rules. It means revolutions. It means wars. It means protests. And it means outside of the boundary. So, and that's from 2015. If you remember, Trump became elected in 2016. And so this is this period of Rahu, and it lasts until 2033. So,
Well, I just jump in and just say what
yes.
I received, which is so weird that you and I are so connected. So I received that there's going to be a new kind of form, like the Constitution. There's going to be a new kind of agreement that's governmental, fundamental agreement or form, like the Constitution. It's going to talk about the powers of individuals and not taking over. It's going to put people in their place. It's going to more like it's going to be a form that defines positions, if you will, which we need, by the way, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm also going to throw this out there. What I got, I don't know when this is going to be, but I do believe that Trump and his allies are forming with Russia, and I do believe there's going to be some kind of an agreement made between them, and that Americans are going to be will hate this.
Yeah.
That's in line with what you're talking about.
It is in line. And let me give you a little history here. And I thought this history was really interesting because
it's also karmic. It's a very karmic connection.
Totally.
And he's a King George connection, Trump, and it's so King George that's passed over karma of power from before.
Well, funny you would say that. So the little history here is that because astrology, we like to look at the history of this type of energy that we're seeing, right? This kind of planetary shifts. So in 1895 to 1913, I should say, 1895 to 1913, there was a previous Rahu was in charge. Rahu was the energy of that time period.
Is Rahu a planet? Is it a star? Is it a star?
It's the North Node, James.
North
node.
It's
everything. The North Node and the South Node really set the tone for everything. But in 1897, we had William McKinley was our president. And William McKinley was the tariff guy, and he was an imperialist. He went after different countries. And there was a famous astrologer like 1,000 years ago, and his name was Kalidasa. And he said, to quote James, he said, this period of time would be the death of the king. And what you had just said, king, right? And then it said he was assassinated. McKinley was assassinated in the beginning of his second term. That's some big history there, right? So I will say that Saturn is opposing Trump's Jupiter. So he's really, there's so many reasons why he does have to be careful because assassination energy is around.
Well, you say April is assassination month.
April is a quite a time period because, well, first of all, because of the Saturn opposing Trump's Jupiter, it's about financials. So we're dealing with the financials, it's about tariffs. And Rahu blows up all the rules. So we're seeing that, right? And this lasts for some period of time here.
I agree.
And it's also brought on by his own actions. So that's in his chart as well. So it's kind of interesting here. But also what could happen is that because Russia is also in a Rahu period it started in 2023, and this Rahu period brings chaos.
Well,
But he may continue with, it could bring with Russia cyber attacks, and it could also strengthen the alliance with North Korea and Iran.
well, it's funny you say that because I got something very similar but a little different in that there's going to be a third party formed in the United States. I see that. We want to call it independent. I don't know what the name of it's going to be. It'll be a third party because there would be Republicans that can't stay in the Republican Party. They just can't be known for that. It's going to be so much dirt. There'll be a third party. And also I felt Russia would be on a land grab. And I felt like there would be something close to China, that there'd be an agreement between the two of them. So whatever's in between China and Russia, look out. There's something there. And I do think there's an alliance between North Korea and China and Russia. I think that's kind of obvious, but I think that's going to be more prevalent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think the Pacific is a threat. The Pacific Ocean, the Pacific area is in threat. So whether that's what is it? Formosa, I call it Formosa, the island of China.
Formerly known as Taiwan.
Taiwan, thank you. I remember Formosa, isn't that
Me
weird?
too. And I remembered I knew what you were saying. I think we're the same age.
Yeah, I think we're the same age. So the Pacific Ocean, the Pacific area is, and I think it's really, I see caution tape, which is not great. It's got to be very cautious because and I do think, Kelly, I do believe, it sounds really hard, but I do believe there's going to be a mistake made somehow. It's not going to be pushing a button, but it's going to be something like a war type of act where someone fumbles. Won't be the U.S. though, but I feel it'll be something that pushes something. It's like, oh, that wasn't a real thing. That was a fake thing. That wasn't a real thing, as we know. So I do got a feeling that happens around the Pacific area. Be careful with that. Sounds weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think that Trump has to be very careful between around April 20th till the end of June. I mean, this could bring a health problem for him. It could bring some attempt. It could bring a national health problem as well.
I think we're going to have some kind of I think it sounds negative to everybody, but I think you do, Kelly, there's going to be another kind of pandemic.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised. They've talked about a pandemic, with fungus. I think I sent that to you
You did. Yeah, you're right.
I agree. There's another kind of pandemic, a little bit different materials. So it could be the fungus, not sure, but it'll be different. And I do think there'll be a lot of that going on.
Wow. Well, and there will still be financial uncertainty for some period of time. This is not going away yet.
Yeah, I agree. 12 to 14 months. Yeah.
It's something like that. It will come back, but boy,
it'll come back. Sure. It's not over, kids.
It's not over.
It's a different way of looking at things. It's a different way. It's pivoting, which I just discovered myself. You've got to pivot. You got to pivot because you're here to live life and experience things at a very different level. Wow, we're going to be forced to.
Yeah, you can't be fixed with anything. You can't be fixed.
No,
it's really about that pivot. You're right, absolutely right with that.
We survive it. Dr. Brian Weiss did a regression years ago, and I did work with him. He's a past life regressionist, and he did one meditation which really was great. And I've done it similarly. I've used it, but it's very much the mountain meditation where you're a tree. And if you imagine that you're a tree, but conditions change, winter comes and takes away the leaves. And then behind that, we have then the spring will come out and new leaves come in. Summer, you enjoy it, and fall, you lose leaves, but the tree still remains. But the weather conditions shift. Same with us humans. We are the tree. We are that life force that doesn't end. We continue on no matter what that takes. And while we're on this earth, we're going to experience all different types of conditions. But guess what? We always have ourselves. That never changes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, this is a period of time of great growth. Every soul can grow. You'll learn so much about maturity, immaturity. You'll learn all things about yourself that you need to know. It's important.
It's funny, Kelly, you say that because I was getting a hit also on not only communities being formed, various communities, because people need community. They won't be able to. I don't think there'll be much television. I don't think people want to see that. I think it'll be online, but I think there'll also be physical communities. People get together in a physical world, whether it's neighbors or a park or belief systems. and they find that the computer won't do it. They need to be in person. And I find there'll be different belief system communities will be formed. But I also feel that there'll be new spiritual openings in that,
Totally.
like theosophy was early 1900s, if you will, with Blavatsky. There'll be
Mhm.
new ways of looking at things that you and I took, we first started out with in the 80s and 90s about, spirituality and life after death. And insight. Those are things that, we're on the fringes. There's going to be more and more acceptability and more things that, Reiki's common, a house cleansing common, psychic work will be common, the knowingness.
Yeah.
It won't be that weird science of it. It'll be accepted.
Spirituality with work is really where you're headed with that. That's exactly right, James. It'll be more very, very commonplace. And this is what it kind of takes. When I had my traumatic brain injury when I was 42 years old, years and years ago, I lost everything and I had to rebuild spiritually. And that's kind of, I'm not suggesting that everybody has to lose everything, but at all. But in fact, if you saw the White Lotus, and I don't know, spoiler alert, but the Radcliffe family had a situation, and you could see at the end where they don't know it yet, but they're about ready to have a spiritual experience.
Is that the third season you're talking
Yeah.
about? Don't ruin it, please.
I will not. I will not. You gotta catch up fast. It's very good.
You like the third season?
I loved it. Yeah.
Out of all three seasons, is that your favorite?
Second and third.
I liked season 1 the best.
You did? Oh yeah, I know. I loved season 3 actually. I was surprised at how much I liked it. Yeah.
I got to remember that song. I got to check it out, Kelly.
Check it out. You got to do that. But and the third season is about spirituality, James.
No, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I mean every season has a theme, but I thought it was perfect.
Kelly, what you were talking about, because you can go through these changes, but once again, I want to emphasize, but you have to go with a strong foundation of yourself.
Yes.
You got to know yourself. You got to know yourself. That's going to ground you. That's going to hold you through these changes. I'm going through major changes. I just my sister 8 months, my brother 2 months ago. I'm going through life changes, and I'm going through a lot of stuff. My best friend is dying in my house, and lots of changes. And I'm like, whoa, people in relation, people losing relationships, and I'm just holding tight. And you know what? I wouldn't be able to do any of it. I mean, I do 14 classes a week. I wouldn't be doing any of it if I didn't know who I was. If I didn't have a sense of who I was and what I'm about, I wouldn't be able to be. I'd be carried away with it. So
that's the truth.
And you got to be careful, everybody. It's a real strong time to be carried away. I don't want to. Kelly doesn't want to be carried away with it.
No. My philosophy is an existential philosophy, which is the world is absurd, so make meaning.
I love that. That's great. I do something a little different. So every day I try to find something positive and joyful. I do. So the other day, Sunday, I cleaned up my vegetable garden and had fun with that. Oh yeah. And and I helped with bringing toys to the dog park, and I love that. And I just find things that are joyful, simple joys. Creating a new song, cleaning my office. I love cleaning. I just organize. I like to organize. So writing my book. I mean, things that bring it, planting something new. So, doing things that really you love. Taking a swim if you can, or I don't know. It's seeing a sunset, going to the beach, lying in the grass. Simple joys that you have to do to remember who you are.
Absolutely. In fact, we'll remember that, the simple joys.
You're in control of it, everybody. Yeah. Nothing out there can control that.
Right.
You have control of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about this conjunction that we have coming up. It started actually, Saturn conjuncts Rahu, and that started on the day of the eclipse on March 29th, but it goes all the way through May 29th. So what does that mean, Saturn conjunct Rahu? Saturn, again, is karma. It's responsibility. Conjunction is right next to it. And Rahu is the planet of chaos. So and it will be exact on April 21st. But what it means in the past, when Saturn is conjunct Rahu, it brings challenging events, natural disasters, volcanoes. Did you see that volcano eruption I think it was somewhere in Hawaii?
I'm not surprised, but I'm not surprised.
You've been busy?
I've been busy putting stuff in my garage, like paper towels and toilet paper and Kleenex, and I'm setting up because I want to make sure that I have everything I need. And I'm not talking about being, ready. I want to make sure I'm prepared. If anything wild happens, which it might. We might lose the internet. We might lose electricity. We might. I got a generator. Yeah, we just might. You got to look at the bigger picture. Stuff you can't control, but stuff you also can control. So I control how much stuff I have. food wise and so forth. And again, not to feel pessimistic or dark,
No.
realistic. It's being. I'm a
Yeah.
Capricorn rising with a Virgo sun. I'm very realistic. I'm very down to earth. And I'm very aware. I don't want to be an ostrich in the sand. I want to be aware of
No.
what's around me and
Exactly.
that are shifting.
Well,
Things I can't
there's
control is my life.
and some of the shifts that we will see will be a lot more hurricanes, James. I mean, this is a time period of hurricanes that are
Well,
going to
there's a
come
lot
up,
of tornadoes and hurricanes right now in
right?
America, right?
Yep.
And there's going to be some land shifts as well, Kelly. I
Shifts,
feel that.
earthquakes, floods, fires, rebellion.
Yeah.
There's all
I see
kinds of
Northern
things.
Europe, a lot of stuff in Northern Europe as well. It's
Yeah. Well, James, this is also similar energy as to 1968, and it was April of 1968 when you're talking about Martin Luther King was assassinated and Bobby Kennedy was
Bobby
assassinated
Kenny
too.
was June 10th, 1968. I was
Wow.
there. We just come back from church in morning prayers,
Wow.
my mother, and we heard it on the radio in WINS in New York. I was like, oh, Robert Kennedy. I liked him. I thought he was a sweetheart. And I met him 2 months earlier down in the shopping center down by our house. I liked his energy.
No kidding. You must
Yes.
have been what, 10?
Oh, I was 10, and someone
Yeah.
held me up on their shoulders, maybe my dad.
Oh.
And I remember thinking, or my neighbor, I remember thinking, I like that guy. I like that.
Oh.
He had a nice light.
Yeah.
He had a nice light. And I knew that at that time there was it was so weird, Kelly. There was a nice greenish purple light around in his auric field. And I remember they're kind of, I don't know how to describe it, daggers or arrows trying to get into that auric field.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm weird that way. Sure.
I love that you remember that. I think that's great. Oh my God. So we are in this, major turmoil energy right now, and it's going to last for 2 or 3 months here. We've got some major energy here. But on April 25th and April 26th, Mars opposes Pluto. And that's a big one because, Mars is a planet of war and intensity of energy, and Pluto takes it to a higher octave, actually. And that could bring some war situations. Actually, Pluto represents nuclear war too, our nuclear energy, I should say. So it's that kind of a powerful time period that we're in. So what happens during a period like
Now,
this?
you're not saying nuclear war. I know you're not.
I did not say nuclear war at all. Not at all. No, it's just that like a powerful energy. It's like a powerful energy.
I have an exercise for everybody, and the exercise is, I want you to take out a journal, not tonight, but maybe tomorrow, or a pad. Write down April 25th and 26th, and then I want you to just write down the prediction here, and then on that 27th, mark your calendars. The 27th, I want you to write down what has changed the past 2 or 3 days before that. I want you to see April 27th and write down the changes that have.
Good. Very good. Very good. Okay.
I don't know why I think there's going to be a milk shortage. But I just
gosh,
a milk shortage.
Wow.
Is that?
Wow.
We already had the egg shortage.
We did. But you know what, James, during that period of that 25th and 26th, that could also have to do with like more financial blow-ups too.
Well, it's funny you just said that because I get a lot of business takeovers. Like a lot between that time, major companies taking over another company. I feel that time, 25th, 26th. And I feel it's going to be a good time for people to look at their stocks, their portfolios, and look at the possibilities of buying companies that are very low. That might be a good opportunity to buy. So when things are low, you can buy. That might be a very good time from the 25th to 26th of April.
Wow. Might be. It's going to be a very intense time, I could tell you that.
It's the beginning of Taurus. I mean, God, it's going to be Aries Taurus time. It's tough.
My gosh.
Astrologically in Western, between the 24th, 26th of that April, it's always the toughest people. I've always found my
you have to be pretty tough. Yeah.
Oh,
that is true.
Aries. It's a tough one.
That's a tough one. I agree with that. It is a tough one.
Tough one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, also we've got Saturn's going to conjunct Neptune in June, July, and August. And what does that mean? So the last time something like this happened was about April of 1857 to February of 1872. And that had a lot to do with the Civil War period. So this is a big year. This is a big year, James. This is a big, but also the spiritualist movement began.
So that's very interesting. And Lee just wrote in our comments, which I don't read, but I wanted, he's starting a peace treaty that day, the 26th. So again, a peace treaty, a sound bath, healing work. It'll be accentuated, everybody. So start getting involved in healing work and intuitive work. It's going to be accentuated in this time period. So use that energy to accentuate your spirituality, your insights, your knowingness, your sense of self. Very important. It's an opportunity.
It is a huge opportunity, actually, to do that. Because Neptune rules liquid, James, alcohol. So really, you want to watch drinking. You want to watch your taking drugs. You really want to watch, your health.
Yeah.
During these periods.
Yeah. So when can I stop?
No, for us it's okay, James. Yeah.
If we abuse it, it's another thing, but we don't.
Yeah, that's true. But so anyway, this is also it's funny because Neptune also rules cults, and it rules, of all things, it rules water and oceans that we talked about. It has a lot to do with emotions.
I think, Kelly, that also the water and that whole thing, I think there'll be a movement of cleaning up the ocean, or a sense of
I love that. Yeah.
Cleaning pollution of the oceans. I feel that time period will also be that. And Enchanted Forest, what it wrote down here, nothing happens I love this. Nothing happens randomly. Whatever happens needs to happen in nurture, unity, and harmony move forward. The source orchestrates it accordingly. I love that. Thank you. That's a wonderful.
I love that.
Wonderful.
Oh my God. You're right. Nothing does happen randomly.
Nothing.
Nothing is arbitrary and capricious out there.
That's very true. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous.
Right.
Yes.
And this is a period of great growth. Everybody has to honor their soul, honor their mission here on earth. Whatever their mission is.
Listen to your soul, kids. It's time for you to really listen and hear your soul, because now with this energies that Kelly's talking about with the planets and so forth, it's an accentuation of the energies around you and your soul energy for you to hear, for you to take. Oh, I'm going to cry. So I always know I'm getting stuff and I'm going to cry. It's an opportunity for each one to take the time to go within and master themselves, master their soul, listen to their soul's voice, and start living from your soul point of view, not your head, but your heart. Go to the heart, not the head. This is an opportunity to do that in this time period.
Oh boy, it sure is, James. I think it's going to give everybody an opportunity to master themselves.
Yeah, and no one can do it for you. You got to do it yourself. I was doing a course recently, and someone said, well, can you tell them what to do? And I said, well, I can tell them what to do, but they got to do the work themselves. I can't do the work for them. Everybody's got to do your own work. You all have to. Kelly and I can guide you, but you have to be willing to step through the doorway. We can show you the door, but you got to walk through the door.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, James, some people really in this lifetime will, want to do their work. They want to do their Dharma work. I mean, and this opportunity this year gives everybody the chance to do Dharmic work, which is extraordinary. We always talk about karmic work and, you have to get through the karma. Well, let me tell you what, there's a crossover here at this period of time. And it means leads you down the path that you need to be on during this period of time, which is extraordinary.
Yeah, it's very true. Jerry Dombrowski writes, I don't know what my soul wants. Well, what does that say to you? You need to stop and listen, to go inside and quiet the mind and listen to your soul. Your soul will speak. One of the exercises I do, and I do it in this master healing course, life coach I talk about, is you go into a space, like behind me over here, I have a room and it's a closet. It's a walk-in closet. And I use that to sit there 15 minutes a day and I listen to my soul. And I will sit there and I listen to the natural rhythm of my breath, the inhalation, the exhalation. And it's the silence. And the silence is really loud. And that's where you get your guidance, when you listen to your soul self, not in the head, because that'll criticize and take on a whole journey of judgment and so forth. Go to the heart self. That soul has been with you forever. And that's where you want to lead. That's where you want to know yourself. Right. So don't think about it. Just be it. Be it. Go inside, please. I beg you to do that and take my Master Life Coaching course, please.
That course would help people so much during this period of time.
Thanks, that's exactly it.
James, you have the 28-day transformation in part of that Master Life Coach.
That's right. It's all included. I included it because it's needed right now.
It's on sale until what, April 12th?
Yeah, next week. Yep.
Oh, and April 12th, we have a full moon.
That's right, baby.
It's perfect. And also,
Yeah.
Well, also, James, Venus goes direct on that day. So that will be it's an excellent day to start something like that.
It's time to put that into practice on that
Yeah.
Venus, with direct. It's a time to put that loving energy into. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I think that's fantastic.
Nothing happens by accidents.
Nothing happens
You're
by
welcome,
accident.
Robin Dennis. Thanks for offering the course. You're welcome. I had to. Now is the time. Yeah.
Now is definitely the time. If you have been hesitant at all, now's the time to sign up.
Yeah. And Lisa, thank you. I'm so grateful to be here at this time. It's going to be amazing. Maybe a little bumpy, but exciting. Well, enjoy the bumps of the ride.
I mean, you know what? It is going to be a little bumpy, but
it's boring otherwise.
I think it had been boring, and now here we go.
It won't be boring.
No, it won't be. I remember I would be saying, we're going to be watching 2020 again, but here we go.
2025 already, Kelly.
Do you believe it?
No, I don't believe it. It's 2025.
What is the time? And my mom has been gone 7 years today.
So weird. And your mother was such a leader. Yeah.
She was such a leader.
She was a thought leader. She helped people find themselves.
Yeah.
And I know she's so proud of. I know she's beyond. The words don't do it justice. She's so proud she's of you. That you've carried on in ways that she couldn't even imagine.
She helps me every moment. Of course, I'm constantly on the phone with her. On that phone.
It doesn't stop. You know that.
It doesn't stop. No,
all the time because she carries on her work through you. You know that. She carries on through you. And my brother came to me last week and said, I help you know things. I'm like, oh, so they do carry on through us. For sure.
I love that, James.
And when we open up our mind to realize that they share the space with us, wow, doesn't help us all to realize that and to change things around. And we got to do our part by getting who we are and being our soul self.
Right. And to take opportunities of this year, because the opportunities for our soul to grow are so enormous. That this is why you incarnated at this time.
I may not be here in a couple of months. This might be it. So don't realize that this is going to live for today. We only have this moment now. Yesterday's already happened. Tomorrow's yet to be. So take advantage of this time right now. This opportunity.
Absolutely. And also, I have a class coming up. I have two classes coming up. I have a class coming up in Los Angeles. In fact, if you're in town, James, you've got to come.
I will. What date is it?
It's the Roots of Healing. It's June 20th to 23rd, and it's in Burbank, California. You remember the place that that fabulous hotel. You can bring your dog. You can bring Pearl, and anybody who joins us can bring their animal. It's fine with me. I would love that, James. And it's with Dr. Shirley Pellizzari, and it's with Carrie Gonia, and it's a real intimate setting. And we're going to be doing some deep healing. We're going to break free from limited patterns, and we're going to work with ancestral trauma and emotional blocks. It's going to be an extraordinary time to be with us in person. And we have just a few places left for people. So please come in. We have an exclusive VIP package as well. You guys would love it. So please come and join us.
Carrie, and I suggest her very much so.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Carrie's and Shirley's incredible. Phenomenal. I mean, right? I mean, it's really a great group, and if you'll be there, oh my God, we'll be so blessed to have you there. Please. And then I have a crystal class on April 26th. It's a 2-hour crystal class, and it's with Julianne Siegel, and we're going to be talking about the power of crystals and using crystals for feng shui. So please join us. It's only a 2-hour class, and I think you guys are going to love this.
Covering all different types of crystals in there.
Yes. We're going to talk about all kinds of crystals.
How they heal, which ones to use, where to place. And
as a matter of fact, James, we even have a box of crystals that people can purchase from the Crystal Shrine in Burbank, where we did the book signing. And Shauna, she's so wonderful. She put out a box for us.
Empowered crystals, you guys. So empowered. Yeah.
Truly. So please join us for that too. So, oh my
gosh. I think that was an amazing experience with you, as they always are. But I think we had some good insights here. And I think everybody, hope you enjoyed it, because I don't know. I think it was just great.
Me too, James. Me too. And thank you, James. And your insights were incredible.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Renee.
Thanks,
Renee. Everybody. And we'll see you next time. Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.